Thanks for giving me a ride home.
Yeah, sure. That was a day.
Yeah. Yikes.
That was a day. It was like one thing after another.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's over now.
It is over. Yeah. But we're still thinking about it. What was rough for you about it? Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot coming at us.
And that's the thing, like, if someone were to ask me, like, oh, how was your day? I'd just be like, it was okay.
Right. But it wasn't.
But it was not okay. Like, that is an understatement. Not even an understatement. That is just wrong.
So, yeah. No, you're right. But so, like, that's it, right? We have these pleasantries and so is it okay to just say it wasn't okay? Because that's what we say, right?
Right. Like, if someone were to ask you, like, how was your day?
And be like, well, it was actually kind of hard. I had these difficult whatever. Or...
Yeah. And you don't even have to launch into it. You could just say, like, actually, today was really difficult.
Yeah.
And then the person could be like, do I want to engage in this conversation or not?
Right. But we end up just saying okay because we don't want to impose, or we just want to, why do we do that?
I definitely do it because, well, I don't want to be burdensome. And I think I also don't like how it sounds. Like, I like to be like, I am strong and capable and I can handle anything.
How it sounds for you to, like, have that little bit of vulnerability?
Yeah, to, like, admit, like, actually, maybe I'm not a superhero. And something got underneath my skin, or something was tough, or something, like, made me sad or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I really value that in other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I value other people being emotionally vulnerable with me.
Sure.
And I think that being able to own one's emotions is a real strength. So, but when it comes to, like, myself, I feel, like, a little uncomfortable.
Right, I understand. Yeah, no, I feel that way too. But it's nice. But I think that there's pressure not to at times. And I think it's...
Not to what? Be emotional?
Yeah, not to be emotional, not to be that vulnerable, like to cover up or to put on a face, even if there is stuff going on. And, what would it be like if we sort of lowered that bar a little bit and just made it okay or, like, socially acceptable to be in that state of vulnerability with each other?
Okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, there are obviously situations in which that's not appropriate, Like, well, actually, I don't know. I was going to say, like, if your doctor comes in and you're like, oh, how are you? To your doctor. And they're like, having a hard day. Like, would that be inappropriate? I don't know.
It's like, yeah, I just lost another one. But
I'm really thinking about a career change. I don't think I'm so good at this anymore.
I should have skipped those credits in med school. Right, but that's interesting. So maybe it's sort of situational where sometimes we do put on that face for whatever reason because we have to approach people from a place of strength for their sake. Mm-hmm. And there are other times when it would be vulnerable, or it's just with different people at different times. Right. So we need to be in a position of strength with some people, but leave our vulnerability for others.
Right. Yeah, and I guess it takes, like, maybe practice to realize those situations that you can be vulnerable in. But...
Yeah, and it has to do with relationship, right? So there are times when you could be, where depending on what the basis of the relationship is, you can be more or less vulnerable, and that the strength of relationship allows us to be vulnerable in ways that we might not be with casual connections.
Totally.
So it's like, well, okay, so remember the other day we were talking about that Torah portion? The one that sort of goes up with your bat mitzvah? Remember?
Yeah.
Remember, Kalila? So, But that was all. I know we were talking about how everybody's sort of acting like jerks in that one, including God.
I mean, I feel like God acts like a jerk in a lot of the Torah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but let me try and change a little bit here and say, like, maybe it's just God acting vulnerable.
I'm gonna breathe into that one a little bit. Yes.
Okay, I'll take it. No, I mean, it could be like
conditions. Yeah.
Of course, it's always good. But like, there's a lot of the stories in the Torah that, like, we were talking about, how where they don't know how to deal with each other. Like, God doesn't know how to deal with the Israelites. Israelites don't know how to deal with God. And
you talk about God is learning from us just as much as we are learning from God.
Exactly. Like, God, like, we express vulnerability, and God's expressing vulnerability because they're trying to figure out their relationship. And that's sort of so human, right? Where we're continually testing our relationships and pushing back and seeing where we can draw the line, where we can be vulnerable, where we need to be strong. And it's just, it's an ongoing thing. It's a process.
It definitely is.
But I liked what you said earlier, that we should just generally carry around that idea of being okay with not being okay. That should be we should be okay with that. We should be okay with not being okay, because we don't always have to be okay, because we're not always okay.
And extending that, I mean, at least for me, I feel like I accept that other people aren't always going to be okay. So extending that same grace, that same understanding to self.
Yeah. Where we could all support each other in each other's vulnerability. Yeah.
And that emotions aren't burdensome. They're a blessing, and they enrich our lives and other people's lives.
Yeah. They enrich each other, deepen connections, make better communities.
Yeah. So it's okay that we had...
It's okay we had a bad day.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it wasn't a bad day. It was a good day.
Yes.
Because it was a hard day.
Yeah.
Maybe we could say that. Yeah.
I feel comfortable with that.
That's good. Let's go with that.
I would brand it or market it that way.
All right. We'll make t-shirts.
Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, no worries. See you tomorrow.